Alright, today we'll be going over probability. And what probability is, you guys use it every day. I would say, when looking at probability, it's the outcome. What's the likelihood something would happen? For example, you guys ever take a coin and flip a coin between your friends?
Yeah.
So you have a probability of getting what? A coins have two things on it. They either have a heads or a tail.
50-50.
So if I flip, good job, 50-50. If I flip the coin, I have a probability of either getting a head or getting a tail. So the likelihood of getting a head would be 1 out of 2. Why is it 1 out of 2?
Because you can get a tails.
Because you can get a tails. Or the probability of getting a tail is 1 out of 2. So keep this in mind with probability. The outcome, everything wants to move towards 1. 1 is the number that all probabilities want to move towards. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
So real fast, I love sports. How many of you guys like sports?
Me.
Adrian. Oh, ladies, you do too. NBA playoffs is about to start. There are 30 teams in the NBA. Okay? You guys agree with me?
Yes.
Now, who's the best player in the league? Just tell me some names.
Steph Curry.
Steph Curry, who's another great player?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe, who's another great player? You just say LeBron, man. LeBron's the best. LeBron, such as that. Now, let me ask you this. If every team had Steph Curry, LeBron, KD, James Harden on their team, will they win the championship?
Yes.
Most likely they would.
Yeah, most likely.
They have a probable chance. So every team, if 1 out of every 30 team had the same players on the team, when the season started, each team would have a 1 in 30 chance of winning the NBA championship. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So, after they played the regular season worth of games, Adrian, do you know how many teams make the playoffs in the West and the East Coast? 8. I'll let you know, 8. So, on the West Coast, or the West League, there would be 8 teams. There are 8 teams that have a chance to make the playoffs. That make it into the playoffs. Now think about this. We've gone from 1 in 30 to 1 in 8 on the West Coast. Okay? The same amount of teams make it on the East Coast. So it'll be 1 in 8, 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 and 1 in 8. The probability of a team winning the West would be 1 in 8. The probability of a team winning on the East is 1 in 8. But think about it. If there are 8 teams on the West, Leslie, and there are 8 teams on the East, how many teams total are there?
16.
16. So the chances of any of these teams winning the NBA championship has now gone from 1 in 30 to now 1 in 16. You understand? Because there's 16 teams left. Now, after the first round, half of the teams fall off. So there aren't going to be 16 teams left. There's now going to be 8 teams left. So the 8 teams have a 1 in 8 chance. That's if all the teams were equal in the number of players and the types of players. Now, after they have a 1 in 8 chance, what's half of 8?
4.
4. So after you have 8 teams, they play again, there'll be 4 teams left. After you play, the 4 teams play, how many teams are left?
1 and half. 1 half.
1 half. There will be 2 teams left. Now think about this. You have a half a chance. When you have that half a chance, you're going to have a team from the West versus a team from the East. Now, with any sporting event, I'll say it's the Clippers. I'm going to say the Clippers. And right here, I'm going to say the Cavs. Somebody's going to win. Because you only can have 1 winner. And once you have 1 winner, you're going to have a 1 1/2 chance. What do you have? You have 1 hole. And that will be the winner. So look at my probability here real fast. I went from 30 teams in the NBA having a chance to make the playoffs and win it all, to 16 teams, to 8 teams, to 4 teams, to 2 teams playing in the championship, to finally 1 team that can win it all. And in a nutshell, you guys, you went from probability of a heads and a tail to the NBA. And that's probability in the NBA.